Oh my goodness, it's time for our featured performer of the evening. Are you ready for it, ladies and gentlemen? Make some noise! Oh my goodness, things are blowing up for this lady. Her show premiered today, General Hospital. She plays, apropos, a stripper, ladies and gentlemen, named Sandy. And they couldn't have picked a sexier lady. It also happens that she's very hilarious. You can catch her on the Smodcast tomorrow on LA Talk Radio, headlining the Comedy Store. Put your hands together, everybody, for JOANNE SCORCIA!
Yeah? A little bit, right? I think the last time I had any real weed, I had a hot brownie. It was like last days ago. But, but actually I'm really not interested in smoking weed, and actually my idea of getting high is getting a facial. I'm high for the whole fucking month. How do I look? High as a kite, I'll tell you. So I actually have never really been interested in doing drugs, and I think it's because I'm too vain. Really? Yeah, when I was 15, my best friend smoked angel dust, and she's like, "Joanne, you gotta try this. I feel so great. So free." I'm looking at her, I'm like, really? I'm like, you look like shit. I said, what the hell is with everybody that was on Below, like back in the 80s and the 90s? They're like, hi. They all look like they have lockjaw. And I have enough trouble keeping my lipstick on. But actually, the only drug that I almost tried was the love drug, which is ecstasy. Some of you are more familiar with it. Hello. Actually, I almost tried it because it's supposed to heighten you sexually, right? You really feel it? But I read up on this love drug, and although it heightens you sexually, it screws up with the spinal fluid in your spinal cord. And I don't think I would look good in a wheelchair. I couldn't wear these heels. So fuck me up. Oh, brother. So yeah, I have a problem with commitment, and I don't know why. I came from a very, very normal family. Anybody else here from a normal family? Yeah? Parents stay together? And that's dysfunctional, sir. See, most people come from families that divorce, right? Right. And so that's become the norm. My parents actually divorced because they had so much in common that they both wanted to be with men. I was actually okay with that. I was really happy because I always wanted a twin brother. I just didn't want him sleeping with my father. But Michael and I, we worked it out because he does look a lot like me naturally, which is more than I can say for Michael Jackson, who has spent millions of dollars trying to look like me. I don't know why they say once you go black, you never go back. Michael's never coming back. No, I love Michael, I really do. But it's something else. And my mother remarried to a man named Chip, which stands for Couch Hermit in Pajamas. He was a very important man. He was actually the president, believe it or not, of the Smokers' Rights Organization in my neighborhood. I walked around taking allergy pills all day long. He was very pleasant. But before you go down the whole road of feeling bad about my parents and what I came from, I actually was very lucky because my parents actually rekindled their relationship. They found God, and they actually went straight to the Holy Land. You might know this place, Atlantic City. You have to admit, though, churches and casinos have a lot in common, right? I mean, think about it collectively. Where can you find a big group of people standing close together going, "Oh God," and "Jesus Christ," all day long? So yeah, I was down there with my parents, and my parents were making out. I think they were on ecstasy. And my father was like, "Joanne, you okay with like Mom and I making out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'm okay." And my mom's like, "Baby, you okay? Dad and I making out?" I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." I said, "Actually, is your husband okay, Mom? Is Daddy's boyfriend okay?" I said, "Why don't we call him them right now. So I dialed them up, and I invited them down. I figured to let it be one big family orgy, right? And they get down there, and I realized that the only person who was really gay was my father's boyfriend. Go figure. But actually, when my father came out before they rekindled, it went something like this. I get home, and my mother's crying, and I'm like, what's the matter? And she's like, your father's a fagoon. I said, what? She goes, he's a fagoon. I said, what are you saying? He goes, Joanne, I'm a flamer. I said, okay, I don't know anybody who's gay who uses words like I'm a flamer, I'm a fagoon, right? And I came from like a very big mafia family, so this is not something you wanted to talk about. I mean, my cousin Joey Messina killed about 12 people. It's okay, he's locked up. But he was always very nice to me, because I grew up and they were like, oh, Joanne, you're so pretty, just smile, and you get things, so I got a lot of gifts. I'm glad one person thinks that's fine. So my parents, they're notorious for getting free things, and being the guineas that they are, every time you go to Atlantic City, they go for the free comps. You know that, right? Atlantic City, Vegas, you get this free stuff. Anything that's not nailed down, they'll take. They don't even get on the mic, they will take this. This tablecloth would be like a throw on the couch. I don't give a shit. My stepfather's fucking bald doesn't wash himself. I find him unscrewing the hairdryer from the wall. I said, what are you going to do with that? He would say, nah, I'm going to sell it at the family yard sales. I'm like, go fuck yourself. So I went down there last month to visit my aunts, and of course we go to the Tropicana $4.99 buffet, and we're in there, and these guineas, I don't know if you have people like this in your family, right? I don't know what it is, because they think it's free, they have to keep eating, but you have like a stomach ache, but they don't care. So they just keep ordering, and they have me running around like I'm the friggin' waitress. And they're like, Joanne, get another plate, we're sitting down, get another plate, we need another napkin, and I'm running back and forth, and finally, I'm like, okay, we've had enough. We're going home. Right now, okay, we're going home. So my Aunt Terry leans over. She goes, Joanne, do me a favor. Get that napkin. Wrap a couple of chicken wings to go. I'm like, we're driving home. My stomach's hurting. She goes, just get the chicken wings. I'm like, I don't even eat chicken. I'm a vegetarian. She goes, you might change your mind. I'm like, I love my Aunt Terry. She's one of those relatives, you love her so much, but you just want to scream. You have them? Yeah. So I wrap up these freaking chicken wings, right? I put them in my new Prada purse, and guess what? Aunt Terry falls asleep in the car. So now my new Prada bag smells like chicken. So every time, I'm walking around, people are like, Joanne, how do you stay so thin? What do you do? I'm like, every time I'm hungry, I smell my purse. So actors in the room, by a round of applause, anybody? Yeah? So you understand that other people will identify, when you have an audition or something important, the last thing you need to do is talk to a negative person in your life to throw you off balance, right? So my Aunt Terry, I love her, but she tends to be a little negative, right? So I had an audition the other day, and it was for Max Factor, and the phone's ringing. Of course, we have caller ID, so I'm like, can't do it, just can't do it. But the codependent in me wins every time, so I answer the phone, I'm like, hello. She's like, yeah, it's Aunt Terry. I'm like, yeah, I know. She goes, what are you doing? And I said, listen, I can't talk unless it's an emergency. I have a big audition for Max Factor. She goes, oh, Max Factor. I hate those son of a bitches. I said, okay, I cannot have this negative conversation right now. I have to stay focused. And so she goes, okay, do me a favor, because I have a problem about Max Factor. In New York, they're out of the pan stick in the color of sunshine. I'm like, okay, this is really not necessary right now. I'm not having this conversation. She goes, just ask them at the audition. I'm like, okay, I'm hanging up. I love you, right? So I go into the audition, and I, worked on all these breathing exercises. I probably spent $10,000 trying to get myself zen. And I walk in, and they're like, at the audition, what you have to do is you have to say your name. If you're not an actor, you'll understand this. And, that's what they call slate. So I walk in, and they say, slate, state your name, and whenever you're ready, here's the copy. So I'm like, hi, JOANNE SCORCIA. Do you know where I can get the Max Factor pan stick? In color of sunshine. They're like, excuse me? I'm like, the Max Factor, listen, I'm sorry. My Aunt Terry's added the Suntone. They're like, what? I said, I don't know, it's a pan stick. I don't know if it's shaped like a pan or it's a stick. Or she wants to stick it somewhere. They're like, okay, that's it. Thank you. Out the door I left. I did find out, because I didn't go off the audition, in case you were surprised. I I did find out where you can get this Max Factor pan stick in the color of Suntone on drugstore.com. Is anybody interested? And I called up my Aunt Terry. I was really pissed off, and she said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I didn't book it. I didn't book it. I blew the whole audition." I said, "But I did find out you can get the Max Factor pan stick in the color of Suntone at drugstore.com." She said, "See, you're always so negative. We got something out of it." So a few years ago, my mother called me, and she's like, "Joanne, we're flying out west to see you." I'm like, "Great." She goes, "We'll see you in Vegas." I'm like, "Mom, I live in LA." She goes, "Don't have me have to waste the soaps on the room in your mouth." So anyway, I drive out to Vegas. My mom's like, "Look, we got you a shirt. It says Pink Taco. Because I know you like pink tacos." I said, "Great, Mom. You know what pink taco stands for?" "Stands for pussy." She goes, "That's it. Go into the bathroom. We're wasting the soaps." So, yeah. Actually, when I was younger, for my 12th birthday, this is what happened. It was actually a very weird birthday. And my mother had just married my stepfather. He was completely out of his mind, and still is out of his mind. And she goes, "Joanne, for your birthday, where do you want to go?" Now, I lived on the East Coast. Every kid on the East Coast wanted to go to Disney World. So I'm like, "I want to go to Disney World. I want to go to Disney World." So 2 days before my birthday, my mother sits me down, and she goes, "Joanne, for your birthday, your stepfather and I are going to go to Disney World. And you're going to stay in Brooklyn with Aunt Terry." So I thought, okay, this is a joke, right? Because she's going to try to, sneak around, and it's a big surprise. So she brings me to my Aunt Terry's, and I get there, and she's like, "Bye-bye." I'm like, "Bye-bye." Any second now, they're coming back. 2 days later, my mother calls me from Disney World, and she's like, "Happy birthday, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm helping Aunt Terry dye her hair. What are you doing?" She goes, "Well, your stepfather and I are standing on line outside your favorite ride, Space Mountain." I said, "Oh, great." She goes, "And your stepfather wants to know where he should sit on the ride, in the front of the ride or the back." I said, "Tell him to sit on the front of the ride, keep the harness up, and wave his arms for extra fun." So my parents came home with a little T-shirt, and it was my mother and my stepfather. My parents went to Disney World growing up with this lousy shirt. My stepfather was sitting in a nice stretcher with a neck brace. I still have that shirt. So dating in LA can be fun, huh? I don't know how much fun. I was just on a date with this guy the other night. I get there, he's completely intoxicated at the restaurant. He's like, "Joe, sexy mama, I hope you don't mind, but I was like hungry before you got here, so I ate." So I said, "No, it's perfectly understandable, because I was actually horny before I got here." So I got sex. So now I'm gonna eat. So any black men in the audience? Okay, so I need to clarify, do all black men have a 2-foot-long penis? That's left, is that yes or no? Because I was on a date not too long ago with a drop-dead gorgeous basketball player, 6'7", light green eyes, and I'm having a couple of margaritas. It doesn't take much for me to get drunk. His hand is bigger than my entire ass, and he's talking about what he wants to do with his 2-foot-long penis. And finally I said to him, I said, "But where is this thing going to go? I mean, yes, it's going to hit my throat from the other end." You're finally getting that. Okay, this I do not need. I do not need a trachea operation after a friggin' date. So anyway, I think that's my time, right? I've had a wonderful time with you guys.
One more time for JOANNE SCORCIA.